And what is going on, my people? Another beautiful day. We had the club going up on a Tuesday. So check it out, man. We moving positive throughout the whole city. Everything is looking better and better. But unfortunately, we're still in the category 6 and in the movie, but we almost to the tail end of the movie. Shout out to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Lawyers for all accidents in the Keys. If you have any type of accident, whether it be on a moped, bicycle, or car, go to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Them local boys at 302 Southern Street will take care of you. And the #1 doctor in America, Dr. B, shout out to Dr. Burrows, backed up by Dr. Pucci and Dr. Trixie. He's going to be on the program Friday. And Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon and Key Largo. Free COVID-19 testing for everybody. Some expectations apply, but for the most part, everything looks like it's solid, and you will be able to get your free testing. So right about now, you know what we do around here. We bleed red and gray. Coach Hughes is in the building. What is going on, sir? How you doing? How you feel? I know you just came out there getting conditioned for the football season. So how's everything going out there?
Doing good. Just stepped off the practice field, made my way over here, so it's good to be here.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming to the show and the podcast. Right now, what I need y'all to do is hit notifications. There's a little button right here. Bam! Hit notifications, so like that. You notify when we on the podcast. And then if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, so like that you can catch all the shows. So Johnny over here on the show, we call it Beats and Potatoes, and we keep it blood raw. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff here. Also, you got any questions on anything, feel free to come on in the podcast, and we're going to get you on there. So we're going to get this little monitor activated here real quick so we can get this thing going. So I guess my first question is, how are we looking for the upcoming football season?
Well, that's a good question. Without spring practice, that's usually our time to evaluate the new guys, see who's going to step up, find out, who our team leaders are going to be, and what looks like coming season.
Right.
Obviously, with that being canceled, that was an issue going into this year. So, this year we're just getting back into our strength conditioning phase of it. We had about 35 guys out there today, working hard, trying to get ready for the season, and hoping that we start on time, and hoping these get back to normal for us real quick.
Gotcha.
But heading in there, we know we got to replace 4 offensive linemen. We lost some guys up front. We got a quarterback spot. We had a guy step in last year who started off as our third string quarterback and finished the season. Did very well for us. So we'll see what happens there.
Gotcha.
Some of the spots, but we got some guys that coming back that we expect big things from.
Work in progress.
Absolutely.
You got to work hard. You can't have enough hours a day to work on football if you want to win state and national championships. So look, we got some people already coming in here. Andrew Freeman checking in. Thank you, sir, for coming in on the podcast. Joey Figueroa, thank you for coming in, sir. All love today. So, Coach, let's get right into the meats and potatoes of this thing, right? So, what are you doing to get as many kids to come out and play football as possible? How do we get more kids to basically get into football, I guess is the question.
Well, it's a tough sport. It's not for everybody. We say, we're the few, we're the proud, we're the calms. It takes a special guy to come out there in the middle of summer right now on a day like today where the heat index was over 100.
Right.
And you're out there on the track and Coach Perkins is running speed drills.
Right.
And, and other kids are at the beach or out on the boat. So it takes a special breed.
Sure.
The guys that do come out there, they battle. They're hard-nosed. They put up a fight against anybody they face, and that's what makes them so special. But, we always encourage people to come out. We're always talking in the hallways, trying to recruit people, guys that look like athletes. We've had a lot of guys that come out for their senior season. Really? And always say, man, I wish I had done that more.
Gotcha.
So we've had a few of those cases over the last few years, and every year we'll get somebody like that. So we always encourage those guys. It's never too late. Get it in. Let's find out. Last year, for example, Curtis Knowles, our kicker, came out for the first time.
Oh, that first time
he played football for the high school.
Really?
Great athlete.
Wow.
And did a great job for us. So it's always we're always beating the bushes and knocking down some doors looking for players.
We on the hunt. We got to make sure we get as many kids as we can. So if we want to play football, go ahead and sign up and let's get it in. This will be the time. You know this person right here?
Oh yeah, and her son can play a little bit too.
Who we got there?
Aisha.
Oh
yeah.
Aisha checking in. Thank you so much. So Coach, what are we also doing to get kids into college? because that's very, very important, as we know, as coaching and making sure these young men go to the next level.
And that's something I'm pretty proud of. I mean, if they want to play, they're going to go. There's an opportunity for everybody, to be honest with you. They got to do their part. They got to have the grades.
Right.
But even if that's the issue, we still have some options for them. But this year we had 3 guys that have already signed. We had another 5 seniors that had opportunities to go.
Right.
But they chose other career paths, whether it's firefighting or whether it's just going to school.
Right.
Without the sport. So over the past few years, we've sent guys all over the country. California.
Nice.
We've sent them to Arizona. We've sent them to Georgia. In Florida, up to Minnesota, Iowa.
Yep.
So if you want to play, there's going to be an opportunity for you. You just got to do your part. Make sure you work hard in the classroom, on the practice field, in the weight room, and things will happen.
Anybody specific out there doing some big things on the college ranks that come to mind?
Well, obviously Mackay, he comes out, and he's doing his thing. But there's other guys that are doing fantastic well. Jaden Glover is a guy that plays Division I football, in Arkansas. He's an offensive lineman. He's doing real well. I think he's heading up to his senior year. We just had some guys graduate, some other guys moving on. We got A.B. Wynn's going to junior college in Mississippi. Sturvins Doors at junior college up in Minnesota.
Nice.
So we got guys all over the place. I know I'm missing a few off the top of my head here. But that's something that every year, if the athlete is serious about playing, and he's got to be serious about playing, not mom and dad.
Right.
He's got to want it. There's going to be an opportunity for him.
Got you. Coach, we got a lot of people coming in here. And I just want you to give a little intro about yourself, because not everybody knows you in here. Mm-hmm. So just a little quick intro, if you don't mind, so we can get that in here.
Well, John Hughes, head football coach, Key West High School. Headed in my 9th season. I've been involved in the Kong program since 2002. Played high school ball at Miami Palmetto High School. Went and played college ball at East Texas State, now Texas A&M Commerce, Division II school.
Nice.
Got into coaching. Was lucky enough to land the head job here, where quite a few of my family members attended.
Nice.
So it's something that's been great. I think we've had a great run. Obviously every year we go out looking to win a district, win a state championship. That's the goal of every coach and every program at the school.
Gotcha.
But again, we're also trying to get guys into college and make better men. We want guys that leave that school or leave the program better than when they walked into it, and that's our ultimate goal. Gotcha.
All right. So I got Miss Pamela. Look, Miss Pamela, here's my mask right here. Like I told you, it's very difficult to talk through the podcast. So we good over here. I love you. I know you're my #1 fan. Thank you for checking in. Good old Lockwood from the PD's office. Great podcast, and people still talking about that. So you did excellent. Thank you for checking in, sir. Let me ask you this. What type of offense do you run?
Well, we're an option offense. We have been since day one since I've been the head coach. We ran a little bit under when I was an offensive line coach, when Robert James was the head coach.
Gotcha.
And Danny Menez was our offense coordinator. So we ran a little bit of multiple option there. And we got into, that Navy, Georgia Tech style flex bone when I took over, because I felt it suited the type of players that we had down here. Gotcha. Tough, hard-nosed kids who will go to battle on every single play. And I think it's worked out well. I mean, our offense is known not only throughout the state, but throughout the country. I mean, we get, especially this whole, time off with the virus has had a lot of coaches reach out to us and ask us, for instructions or how to install an offense. They've asked for articles, they've asked for podcasts, they've asked for Zoom meetings on what we do. And it's something that we've been known throughout the state. We've had schools that say, listen, we don't want to play anymore.
Really?
Because you got to tackle us every single play. You throw a pass and it's incomplete, there's no tackling involved. With us, pretty much you're going to tackle every single play. So we bring a physical, hard-nosed type of game that not everybody wants to play all the time.
Now, let me ask you a quick question. I played for Key West High School in baseball, and I played a little bit of all sports, but not football, obviously in pads, but on the street. So if we're in the game, right, mm-hmm. and we run this type of offense, and we're not doing well, we get behind. Do you initiate another game plan as far as to basically throw the ball more because we're behind and really need to get some points there quickly? Or what would be your thoughts? If I'm just trying to put myself as you in the game or whatever is not going well. We fell behind by a lot. We got to score some points, because that offense is also an advantage. Correct me if I'm wrong, you take a lot of time off the clock, right?
It can be. I mean, it depends on our game plan.
Right.
For instance, we played Miami Northwestern last year, 3-time state champion. There's 48 minutes in a high school football game. We held the ball in offense for 41 minutes. We had over 300 yards of offense.
Wow.
Okay, and they beat us by 30. Okay, so that's just they're a talent team. Hats off to them. It's an offense that allows us to compete, but we can also go no huddle with the same offense and score a lot of points quickly. I think we've scored the most times over 60 in the other program in Key West. I mean, we put 60 points up 3 different times in our time. 400 yards of offense is a normal occurrence for us.
Gotcha.
So it's something where it's a big play offense. Now there's no offense built that has that 3rd and 22 play, or down by 21, you're going to struggle a little bit no matter what you run.
Gotcha.
So it's I understand that. I know the fans like the aerial attack and the excitement of throwing the ball, but you got to play with what the talent you have and what suits your program and gives them the best chance to win every single week, and that's what our offense is meant to do.
Look who checking in there. You see him?
Oh yeah.
Good old J.P. Garcia, boy. That's a living legend right now.
He's a backbone, heart and soul of the program. He's been with me since day one. I don't think there's a position he hasn't coached. Kids love him. He's something that call him pride. It's probably his picture next to it.
There's no doubt about it. Heather, thank you for checking in. So let me be clear about coaching, okay? So coaches, I say this all the time. They used to get paid 10 cents an hour. Now I think we're about 5 cents an hour. So it's a very difficult thing to do, and trust me, it's not done for the money. This is for the love of children. So anytime that you out there coaching, like I said, like everything in life, you're not gonna make everybody happy. But if you could bring something to the table and you want to be able to help out, then I suggest that you go down there, fill a form out, and sign up to be a coach. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, these guys are doing it for kids. And what I've learned is, if I have a child playing, and let's say he's playing football, I'm gonna let the coach do his job. Because at the end of the day, I trust in the coach what he's doing, and he might have his methods of doing things or whatever. As long as I feel comfortable with the coach, then I'm good. I'm not going to interfere with that. And then I don't buy into this program about that. I'm not getting playing time with excuses about this and that. Because what I tell kids, and you tell me if you agree with this, if they put you in the game and you touch the ball 3 times and you score 3 touchdowns, I don't give a damn what's going on. By force, you're going to be in the game.
Listen, if you're not playing, there's probably a reason. And we tell the kids all the time, playing time's earned on the practice field.
Exactly.
So we don't have Friday night players. We just turn the light on. You don't do anything all week.
Right.
You got to show that you can produce for your team, because it's different than in most sports. Baseball and basketball has individual moments where an individual can take over a game.
Right.
Football, we require 11 guys doing their job all the time. One breakdown and it's catastrophic.
Sure.
So you have to show that you're trustworthy enough. Your teammates trust you. Your coaches trust you. And JP will tell you. I mean, you talk about coaching and the sacrifices they make. He's a prime example right there. I mean, he works as a fireman, so he's on duty for 20 or 48 hours at a time. Right. Without his family. Then he comes to the practice field. Okay, he doesn't go home. He comes to the practice field, puts his time in with the kids. He's been doing it for years.
For sure.
So those are the kind of guys that make the program go, and that's like I said, that's the backbone right there.
And what we need to be doing is, when you see these guys out in the city or wherever, thank them for their service, because like I said, this is very serious. It takes a lot of time. You don't get to spend a lot of time with your family when you're in the middle of the season, and these guys take it very serious. They're not just going through motions or whatever. And it's tough to win state championships anywhere, let alone in Key West High, where we have one high school and we go up against enormous schools in Miami that they don't have a differentiation between public and private, and they're able to recruit and do all kinds of stuff that we can't. We get what we get. For those of y'all watching, the nearest school is an hour away, so this is very challenging. So all you can do is play hard every day, do the best you can, and believe that you can win, because mentality is half the battle.
No question. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the kids that, when they line up, they know going in, they got a shot every game. They know that, like we tell them in our pregame speech, and, if you've never heard one of JP's pregame speeches, you got to catch one out.
Yeah.
He'll make you run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
But we tell them, we're not here to play underwear football. We don't play that 7-on-7. We're not throwing the ball 6 times a game. Right. You're going to have to tackle us every play. We're going to hit somebody every single play.
Gotcha.
Our kids buy into that mentality. It gives them a sense of pride that, teams don't want to play us anymore. After beating Gulliver for 3 years in a row, the Gulliver AD said, we're done playing you. We do not want to play you guys anymore. We've had other teams, North Broward Prep, Calvary Christian, guys that have said the same thing. All these guys have players in the NFL right now, but yet their coaching staff and their athletic departments come and said, we can't play your brand of football anymore. We can't, it's too tough for us. It beats us up. And, our guys take pride in that stuff. And, they look forward to going out there every week and battling.
Okay. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the city. We're getting ready this weekend. A lot of events going on. For those of y'all want to find out what's going on, please go to Where's the Party Key West on Facebook and post whatever business you got there that you want to promote your establishment. We'll make sure we take care of you. So, Coach, let me ask you this. In your opinion, okay, the number one wide receiver of all time in the history of Key West High School football. And go ahead and if you know it right off the bat, go ahead. But
you're putting me in a spot. I didn't see him play. Like I said, my time down here is only since 2002. But everybody I talk to, brings up James Howard.
Yeah.
They say he's probably one of the better athletes that ever played at Key West High School.
85, yeah.
Plus he was on my coaching staff for a while, and to this day he'd probably go out there and beat some one-on-one coverages. He's in great shape.
Gotcha.
So that's the guy I have to go to, but that is based on the opinion of people who have more knowledge of the history than I do.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, we thank you for your service there. You said you've been at it 9 years as a head coach now? Is that correct?
In the 9th year, yes.
Okay. And like I said, we support anybody that's out there making it happen. And also, as we know, we got to work together to get to that state championship level. So it all starts at the Little Leagues. It's very critical. And, we got some good talent that looks from out there. Have you been checking out some of those games?
I do. I'll go out, and check them out. The HOB program, getting that started was a huge benefit. We started that when Netta Jackson was the athletic director. We approached Mr. Porter with the idea of starting the middle league, the middle school program at HOB.
Wow. Yeah.
And he took that and they ended up running with that and get that going. And we just wanted people to play more competitive football, had to spend more time into it, but more importantly, learn the academic consequences at the middle school level instead of the high school level. I can name an all-star team, maybe even an all-state team of kids who never finished their careers here because they didn't get the job done in the classroom. And that's unfortunate. We want to try to stop that, get them at a younger age and teach them it's important to get the grades if you want to play.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what the middle school program is doing. Coach Van Loon's running that right now. One of the best coaches, in the county. So they're in good hands there.
Kim Free, I see you coming in. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for tuning in. Esther and Bernard Simmons. I see, Bernard, you came out there to Stock Island today, running a little basketball. So it's all love out there in Stock Island. So, Coach, I think it's very important what you just said also, because it also gets kids to leave Key West and basically maybe go to some tournaments and stuff, because we have a lot of kids that go away and come back to Key West or whatever. So I think the earlier you get used to that, then the better it is and the better chance. Because, when you go to college, you don't get up and go to class. Ain't nobody out there knocking on the door. You're on your own.
Oh, yeah. They find out real quick in college if they skip a class what happens. And it's usually pretty painful.
Yeah. This character right here? Good old Billy Spotswood. Billy, all love right now. Thank you for being on the program. The other day we also had Jason. Now see, Jason, that man said, I quote, anything but a state championship and girls softball is a disappointment, and if it doesn't happen, he don't blame a near kid, he blame himself. That was his quote. What you think about that?
To be honest with you, I've dealt with Jason for a long time, and he's one of the better coaches out there. His heart's in the right place, his intention's in the right place, but he knows the sport.
Sure.
So it's technician and attitude. He's got the whole package, just like his brother. They're both outstanding assets.
And another thing that we talked about is there's some people, unfortunately, that I would say are old school, right? But we're not in the old school no more. We're in the new generation. So if we go, when we grew up, probably go on that black and white stuff, that is just going to be black and white. This is what it is. You're going to lose some kids guaranteed. So you have to be able to relate in some type of way to the new generation and still do what you need to do to make sure these guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But it's not black and white Bear Bryant.
No, there's no Junction Boys, and Bear Bryant when he had him at A&M there, So, it is definitely, and it's the generations, they're used to things happening quicker results. You know, they want things, they want them now. You know, they're inside a little bit more. They're not outside playing. We found early on that their knowledge of the game was kind of limited. You know, whereas when we go out and play in the streets, I never played wide receiver down in my life in organized football, but I did. We play street football.
Right.
You know, so they don't do enough of that. So teaching them the basics of, you know, what is a post route, what is a slant, what is a curl, you know,
fundamentals.
You take it for granted, you know, early on. Then you realize we got to start with, you know, show them the football and say this is what a football looks like.
Me coming up on sports, I have zero tolerance for mental mistakes.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that comes from discipline, that comes from repetition, that comes from confidence, you know, and physical mistakes, you know, we'll deal with. The mental mistakes, that can be controlled. That can be controlled. You're right. And so we got to limit those. We limit those. We end up winning the game usually.
What I found is, obviously, the more prepared you are for a football game, any type of sport, the better you're gonna do. Now, things, you know, happen on the football field. You might draw it up one way, and this is just not going the way we draw it up, and you got to make audibles. But like anything else, like you said before, you need a great team to win championships. And that starts all the way from the ball boy all the way up the line.
Yeah, I mean, everything's got to fall in place. You know, obviously injury free. You know, and that's always been, you know, one of the crutches of Key West is the depth chart. And you know, I'll put some of our starters against anybody that we play against. You know, I mean, the problem is if somebody gets hurt. And last year, like I said, I was proud of that team, proud of the coaching staff and what those guys did and how they were able to rally those players after we had so many different injuries. And the guys that, you know, went ahead and toughed it out and played, you know. My defensive tackle, Jonathan Twall, played on a bad ankle almost the entire year, where he's telling me he's throwing the shot put in track and it's still hurting him. He's still having trouble, you know, with mobility. Yeah. You know, you got guys like that. You just had some warriors go through there, you know, that play there. I mean, you know, JP's son, you know, Jesse Garcia, is one of the truest warriors I've ever seen. You know, we had to convince him to go see the trainer when he was hurt because he didn't want any chance of him being taken out. You know, that kind of mentality feeds on the team. You know, those are the kind of kids that are down here. And when you get enough of those guys around, you know, and they all start buying in, they all start getting into
the program.
You know, that rabid enthusiasm. That's when right there. That's when good things happen.
For sure. We got good old girl Lydia Estenos checking in. Tyler Knowles checking in. Thank you for watching. So, Coach, let me ask you this question: do you see any time ever again that we will not play for a state championship? Because I know me and you have talked about this for a while, and I just wanted, you know, to bring that up and see what your opinion is, and then, you know, I'm gonna tell you what my opinion is, and then we can talk about it if that's okay.
No, I think, you know, obviously, listen, coaches do so much. You know, you need to have the bullets in the gun to make that run happen. You know, you got to have some balls bounce your way. You got to have a little bit of luck. You got to stay healthy. But like I said, every single year we go in planning on playing in that game. You know, let's see what happens. Now, is you know, the climb steep? Sure, we play in a region of the country that plays the best football anywhere in the world.
Right.
You know, I mean,
nationwide ranked.
I mean,
Northwestern.
South Florida puts out the most talent of any area in the country, any states. To be honest with you, the state of South Florida, as they call it, is a recruiting mecca for colleges across the country. You know, so we face these guys on a daily basis. When we play some of the smaller schools, whether it's North Broward Prep, you know, they got guys going to Notre Dame, North Carolina State, Air Force Academy, Colorado. You know, these are, you know, these are legit players that we face weekly. You know, and it's true in other sports too. And, you know, baseball's got, you know, highly competitive sport down here. You know, softball, same thing. You know, so, you know, you play against the best, you know, things got to go your way. But every year is an expectation of playing that game, win the district, you know, and moving forward from there.
Yeah, and like I see, you know, there's a lot of new rules in the NFL to protect players, and as we know, bottom line, no matter what kind of rules you put in, it's a very dangerous sport, and I understand that. Yeah. And when you're playing, you know, tougher competition, it's really tough. So I still say, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, that when I, like, for example, if I played at HOB and I'm playing out there basketball when I'm a kid, right, and I get picked up by the older kids or whatever, I'm definitely getting crushed out there when I'm playing because my talent level is not there. I'm playing with older kids, right? Sure. But when I get into my own age bracket, by playing that tougher competition, I continue to excel. So to me, you know, mentality, you got to go in there. Maybe it's a 1 in a million shot that we could beat Northwestern, right? But you have to have the mentality that you're going to go in there to win. You can't go, if you defeat all this Northwestern, ain't no way we can win. You lost before the game started. You got to believe you can win.
Now, I'll be honest with you, I think our kids went up there and they were they were
we
they were
played away,
fast,
right?
They were fascinated by the mystique.
Yeah.
You know, of Northwestern and Traz Powell. A lot of those guys have never played in Traz Powell.
Right.
They know the history of it. I mean,
Right.
Nike just redid the stadium because the amount of NFL guys that have actually played in that stadium.
So can you explain to people that have no idea what that is? Is that where the
Traz Powell is where, you know, the home field for Miami Northwestern, you know, Miami Central, Miami
Gotcha.
Jackson, you know, so
Okay.
all these guys are playing, you know, their home games there at the stadium. You know, but I don't think there was anybody intimidated. I mean,
Good.
You know, Preston Hurst is a sophomore, had 100 yards rushing against Miami Northwestern. You
That's
know,
exceptional.
offensive line dominated. You know, we had a chance to go in at 14-14 halftime. You know,
so it was tied at halftime.
we got stopped on 4th and inches there.
Wow.
You know, it was just, you know, it was one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, we wish maybe we should call a different play. Maybe we should have, you know, run another side. Whatever happens.
Let me tell you something. If you went, I wasn't aware of that. So you went into Northwestern. I mean, you made away. It's already challenging, and you was tied at halftime. You did a spectacular job. I mean, and basically just got to figure it out. And for you to say that them kids were not intimidated, this is 75% of the battle going on. So now they felt better after the game, and I guarantee you, when we played. Competition was in Cloyd Northwestern, we was way ahead of the game there.
You know, if you go to Miami Killian, I mean, I've had coaches call me and say, you know, you guys should have beat them, but turnovers killed us in that game.
Right.
You know, we played a solid game, you know, defensively there. Offensively, we moved. I think we had almost 450 yards of offense, but we also had 6 turnovers. Little things like that kill you.
Right.
You know, that's not championship football. And that's on the coaching staff right there. And we got to make sure the guys are in a better position to win those games. You know, and hold on to the ball, little things like that that we can take care of.
Yeah, gotta tuck that ball in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got Don checking in. Thank you, Miss Don. Demar, what's going on, my man? Leslie checking in. Jeffrey, all love right now. So let me ask
We're
you.
running back right there.
Who's that?
Jeffrey Anley.
Serious?
Oh yeah, he could tote the rock.
Oh yeah. What year is he?
He graduated 2015. So.
Okay, so alumni, friend of the program.
Yeah, no question.
Okay, that's another thing. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, we have great attendance at football. We always had. You know, it's like a social event, and you know how the game goes. The more games we win, more people going to come out. This is just how life is, or whatever. But this is, you know, great. Shout out to Key West High School. You know, it's special to be a conch out here. We have to work together to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. You know, I'm pretty sure Coach is very accessible. I've talked to him a million times. If you have something to say to that man, go ahead and talk to him. He's going to listen to you or whatever. But, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say or whatever, don't be disrespectful, because remember, keep in mind, it's 5 cents an hour or whatever. We're doing the best we can, and we actually getting some positive results. So I think that, you know, with God, anything is possible. And the way the nation is, and we're in crisis right now, we just have to be nicer to people in general, because look at what state we're in. And also, at the end of the day, we're making these men better in life.
Absolutely. That's the ultimate goal. You know, we guys that, you know, they're working as policemen right now. They're working as firemen. They're working, you know, for Keys Energy, the Aqueduct, things like that. You know, you pretty much, you know, can guarantee that if, say, a hurricane that comes around, you know, we lose power and all that, all those guys on the front line were some sort of conch athlete. You know, the guys that are helping repair the island, get things back on their feet, protecting the island. 100. You know, most of those people right there play some sort of sport at Key West High School. You know, and for those who are trying to get rid of athletics at the high school level, you know, it's a big mistake. You need it. I don't care what you play, as long as you're playing something. Gotcha. You know, get involved, get out there. Of course, you know, we'd love to have more football players, but everybody would.
Come on out, man. If y'all listen to you motivate, we trying to get some motivation going. Can you still play football if you want to sign up, or it's too late?
Oh no, we, you know, we're nothing official right now. We don't officially get started till July 27th.
Right.
You know, but it's like I said, it's a tough sport. It's not for everybody. It takes a special breed to play the game. Gotcha. You know, those guys who graduate, you know, played, you know, they know they're special. They're a little bit different, you know. And I know there's plenty out there that didn't get to finish and they regret that. And you know, those are also life lessons that they can pass on to some of the younger guys, the mistakes they made. You know, so to me, it's the greatest teaching sport. You know, there is. You can learn a lot. You can learn about life. But it definitely, you know, our main goal every single year is to make people better when we go.
No pain, no gain. It's like anything in life. You got to go to adversity to get to the top. But as long as you go 100%, 100 miles running, that's the only thing we could ask for you to do. And make sure you keep them grades up. No pass, no play.
That's true. Yeah, that's, you know.
Coach, how are your kids doing with the family?
Oh, doing great. You know, my one son just graduated. You know, so he's back down here working. You know, and you know, you get to play college ball. I got 2 others that, you know, attend Fire Academy. Andrew, he's up in Tennessee.
Nice.
He's doing his thing.
Shout out if you watch it or you watch it later on the YouTube.
So yeah, boy can play a little quarterback too.
Nice.
Got Cade's up in Orlando doing his thing, and then you got the little one that's just coming along. So
Gotcha. Jeffrey, thank you for checking in. And also, like we talked about, football got the biggest gate. But on the flip side of that, we got the biggest expenses because it's a lot of money to outfit a player. So we need fundraising. We can't have enough fundraising. So if somebody's watching on here and they want to help the Conks out on the football side, what's the best way to deal with that?
You can just get a hold of me. You can contact me at the school. You can reach me through email.
Facebook.
You can get a hold of Sarah Eckert, which is our athletic director.
Right.
Anything. Our guys do a good job of putting a product that people like to see. So we do get a good gate. So it's one of those things. But like I said, it's an expensive sport, so we're always looking for help.
No doubt. And we talked a little bit about this, but once again, how important is it to have what I call, remember the Titans attitude on that football field to take it to the next level? How critical is that?
Oh, well, that's the one thing about that. We always talk about as a brotherhood. We always talk that we wish, especially with things going on now. You take a football locker room, you got a bunch of different people from different races, different religions, all that working for a common goal.
Right.
They're out there, sweating and bleeding and getting after each other. Just like brothers do, they'll fight.
Yep.
They'll get nasty with each other. But at the end of the day, they got each other's back, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create that kind of bond that when they have their high school graduation in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they're always going to be talking to the same people.
Exactly.
They're going to be talking to their players who turn out to be their brothers.
And I'm glad you said that because you only get one crack at this thing, right? So you see how you're a freshman. By the time you wake up tomorrow, you'll be out of school just like that. So this is the time, have a good positive attitude. I know it's tough for you at this age because, some of us look back and said, man, I wish I would have done things different. You ain't never going to get this time back. This time don't stay still for nobody. So you in the moment, this is your time. Like, for example, when we played the basic inner squad, I promise you that we are playing like it's Game 7 of the World Series out there. We don't give a damn. It's just inner squad. And if we're on the B team, we're trying to crush the A team by all means necessary. So this is what it's all about, man. Sports is critical. Like me, I'll be honest with you, Coach. I don't believe in participation trophies. Even though we said old school, you got to earn something around me or whatever. Because like that, if everybody be getting trophies for just showing up, then this is not, what it's all about. But I respect it. If they have those rules in the league, that's fine. I'm just personally not a fan of that. Come from the old school of hard knocks. We got to make it happen. So this year, I hope that everything goes well, that we get on schedule. And also, I was talking about that, that you missed the whole season. Some sports missed the whole season or whatever. And I think they should add maybe a couple games for the games that you lost. Because you're not going to keep people eligibility just to stay back on school or whatever. But like I said, I'm just hoping that we start on time and everything goes back and we get out of this goddamn movie that we're in because it's been rough for everybody.
You bring up a good point about how time flies, and we give that speech all the time. You wake up, you're a freshman, you close your eyes for a minute, you're senior, you're graduating, and we have a ceremony after every game where after our last game every year, where the seniors turn their jersey in for the last time, they give a speech. And some of them are funny, and some are, some are kind of awkward because they don't know what to say, and some are just quite emotional, and they realize how time flies by.
Thank you.
You never know. You never know when a hurricane's going to take games away from you. You never know when a pandemic's going to take games away from you. So take advantage of every single opportunity you get, no matter what you're doing.
And based on the spirit of Coach Hughes and Coach Garcia, I'm going to tell you what y'all do. I'm talking about, how we just talked about in the squad. I'm talking about every game, let alone an official game or whatever, man. You go in there and you play like this is your goddamn last game. This is my last game. Even though you were fresh, play this like this your last game because you never know. It could be or whatever. You got this mentality. We serious out here. We bleed red and gray, and we have to get out there and go get it. We haven't won a state championship ever in football. Well, this is something to strive for with a damn Northwestern. Damn what they talk about. You come out there and crack helmets and do the best we can as long as we prep correctly and like play as a unit. Like Coach said, anything is possible in the world.
Yeah, we get them down here this year. So let's make them feel very unwelcome.
Yeah.
And this is our year, and I think that if things go well and we play the game correctly with no mistakes,
Right.
You know, we got a chance at the end.
And also, a lot of people don't understand there's a new system that they have, unless they change it, with you function by points.
Right.
Which makes it a little bit difficult because you get graded on points or whatever. Now sometimes they'll think you're running up the clock, but you're really not, because you basically need to excel in what's going on. You know, you have class, but they make it difficult. It's kind of catch-22.
In football, the actual doesn't matter how much you win by.
Also, the points don't matter.
Not for football, but
okay.
They do give you points for strength of schedule. Last year, our strength of schedule was rated the third toughest schedule in the entire state. So that allowed us to get the playoffs.
Not just in our division, entire state.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, we played, I think, 8 out of 10 teams were playoff teams. You know, so it's something that you have to do these days. If you don't win your district winners are automatically in, but there is no second place guy. There's no wild card. It's based on points. So last year, our district had 3 playoff teams from it. So, you know, it's definitely one of the tougher districts in the state.
Big Mike, thank you for tuning into the podcast. And Coach, I got one more question about an all-time question. Your favorite all-time coach, Key West Conks of all time?
That's Robert James. You know, to me, you know, Robert is the most knowledgeable football man I've ever been around. You know, he knew the game inside and out, could coach any position, but he did it with class and just high character man. You know, great mentor. Key West was lucky to have him because, you know, he definitely made the people around him better. So he's definitely Robert James.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being on the podcast. You're a gentleman and a scholar. We're going to go out there and support you. Anything you guys need from me, consider it done. And please, if you're able to donate to the program, please do so. Go ahead and go on Coach's Facebook page on the Johnny Hughes, Tiffany Hughes, or see the AD, Sarah Eckert, and they'll take care of you. Louie C. the Mayor, thank you. FloridaKeysInjury.com. If you get in an accident on a car, moped, or bicycle, they're going to take care of you, I promise. FloridaKeysInjury.com. They're local and they're great. And Advanced Urgent Care Key West Marathon in Key Largo, free COVID-19 testing. Have a great day. And for y'all football players, let's go ahead and crack some helmets. Ha!